House Money Podcast and our NFL Week 14 show. I'm Easy and I'm the host. Joining me today, T-Bone.
T-Bone!
And Chalkboard.
Chalkboard.
Dang, fellas, Week 14, that sounded crazy. Goodness gracious.
It's almost like we've been doing this for 3 months and counting.
No doubt. The end of the season is near. But last week, Week 13, 2-2 again, fellas. 50%. The money line parlay goes down in epic fashion.
The parlay went down in a hard way.
Wow. 2 double-digit dog straight-up losses. Oh, by the way, is it too early to mention the Dolphins? Is it too early to mention the twice this year on this very podcast? As a double-digit dog, I picked them as a straight-up winner.
Yeah. They're not in it to lose it. We want them to lose. They don't want to lose. So, there's going to be more victories to come. Trust me. So
it was definitely it's a little bit of a tear now with the Finns for the win.
Well, I mean, I guess the good part of they got a good coaching staff. It looks like the staff knows what they're doing. I mean, they're working with like a CFL roster for God's sakes, and they're somehow playing close games, winning games. It's crazy. I mean, every week somebody else goes on IR, and they keep being competitive.
I know we've said it before, but it's hysterical how much it's like Major League. Where the team just keeps getting further, more and more holes, but yet they keep chugging along.
Yeah, I think the owner wants the tank to get a good quarterback, and they just keep winning. They'll be out of the top 10 pretty soon, so, yeah.
Well, either way, fellas, the other games in that parlay, they didn't. I mean, Carolina lost. Detroit. It was bad all over. Or was we didn't have Detroit, did we? No, it was Dallas.
Do we have Carolina in that? God, and the coach lost his job to boot. Oh, wow.
Gambler finally had to pay up, I guess.
Yeah. Man.
He didn't know when to fold him.
I mean, Garrett should have been fired by now, but oh well.
Well, I guess the Garrett's a good segue to the Thursday night.
To Thursday night, Week 14. Y'all get ready to get rolling?
Ready to go.
All right. Thursday night, Dallas Cowboys at Chicago. Chicago plus 2.5. Total 43. Dallas 6-6 straight up, 7-5 off the spread, off consecutive losses at New England and home to Buffalo on Thanksgiving Day, where they got embarrassed on national TV. We spoke about it last week. Really, there's no notable wins for Dallas.
No.
They got wins over Detroit, the Giants, Philadelphia. Really, that's about it.
Yeah, Philadelphia just got beat by Miami, for God's sake. So, yeah
right.
I don't know.
Chicago 6-6 straight up, 3-9 against the spread. Winners of 3 of their last 4, although no real notable wins. Detroit twice and the Giants. The offense still isn't good. The Chalk, I don't know. This past weekend was the first time they put up over 20 since October 20th. To me, this is just 2 bad teams. I mean, what do you think about Thursday night?
Yeah, this is like the Thursday night hangover bowl from last Thursday, Thanksgiving. Actually, as you say that, my eyes look down at the stats. Both these teams have combined to beat Detroit 3 times in the last couple of weeks is the one odd thing I saw. You do have teams kind of trending in different directions. The Cowboys have lost, like you said, 3 of the last 4. The Bears have won 3 of the last 4, which is kind of crazy. T led us into the segment talking about, I guess, basically, you can't lose your job if you're Jason Garrett. No. I don't know if he's got, like, naked pictures of Jerry or what's going on.
Something's not right there.
I mean, it's almost like you could host, like, a terrible tout show and not lose your job. It's like you could do anything and, like, just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. This guy used to be the George Steinbrenner of owners. I mean, I can't believe he's putting up with this. It's insane.
It's absolutely crazy. It's almost as crazy as me saying, like, I don't know. Do I like the Bears? I don't know. I mean, who would you like in this game?
Yeah.
I mean, you get the Bears at home. You're getting points. It's going to be a frigid night at Soldier Field on Thursday night. I mean, the Cowboys should clearly be better, but, I mean, I don't know. It's like I can't even explain their ineptitude. Is it just the coaching? Is it – I mean, you're talking about Dak versus the truth. I mean, I mean, you would figure a game like this, is it going to be more about the running? I mean, is it going to the conditions or whatever? I mean, obviously Ezekiel Elliott's far superior running back to anything the Bears could throw out, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, it opened at 3, and it took some early money on Chicago and down to 2.5, amazingly enough. So I don't know, Chalkboard. You seem to be on both sides.
Well, what's crazy is because they're both 6-6, but the crazy thing about that is the Bears are pretty much out of their shot of going anywhere, but the Cowboys can still win the division, right, at 6-6?
Yeah, Chicago. Oh, what's the best record in there?
No, I mean the Cowboys.
Oh, Cowboys. Yes, Cowboys are very much in it. Yeah,
Because of like Minneapolis and Green Bay, the Bears are kind of dead. But it's like Chicago. I mean, Dallas has more to play for in this game, I would say.
T-Bone, where you at on Thursday night?
I mean, gun to my head, I'd have to take Dallas. I mean, I don't. Chicago is just they're not good. Yeah, they like to your point, they haven't beat anybody. Yeah, of course, I don't know if Dallas is anybody. I mean, they've got all that talent. They haven't put together. Man, gun to my head, I'd have to take Dallas. That's who I'd take. But I don't have a feel for this game. So
I mean,
really
are either one of us, or is anybody in here comfortable enough to
I don't
put
even
money
feel
on this
comfortable
game?
to put it on a burner.
Two 6-6 teams, and I look at Dallas and it says 5-5 against the spread over the last. I mean, there's just no feel to this game.
I agree. I'm ready to roll Sunday night. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right, Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams +1, total 47.5. Seattle 10-2 straight up somehow or another. 7-4-1 against the spread. They continue to win games. They beat Minnesota this past weekend at home, 37-30. I've watched them play a few times. I'm never impressed. I mean, I'm never
They won
impressed.
10 out of 12 games.
I don't know, but speaking of unimpressive,
I can see that. I mean, I know what you're saying. I mean, it's basically Wilson and a bunch of guys. I mean, I get it.
But speaking of unimpressive, the Rams 7-5 straight up, 8-4 against the spread. Somehow or another, keep losing to good teams and beating the bad. I mean, their losses are to Baltimore, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Seattle. Their wins are Arizona, Chicago, Cincinnati, Atlanta. They don't have any good wins. For what it's worth, these two teams played in Week 5 at Seattle, and Seattle won 30-29 because the Rams kicker missed a field goal. So, T-Bone, you tell me, what do you like in Sunday night's game?
The problem is this looks too good. I mean, you know what I'm saying? How do you not like Seattle? Seattle's great on the road. They're undefeated on the road. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. The two games they lost were at home. They have not lost a road game this year. Man, they just there's something about them. You can't pinpoint it. But yeah, Russell Wilson's he's one of the top. He's up there with Lamar Jackson for Player of the Year. So the Rams, God, they got blown out in like 3 consecutive losses until they won at Arizona last week. So they tore apart Arizona, which was kind of shocking.
They had a win in there at Chicago. That wasn't 3 consecutive losses.
Okay. It just seemed like they were getting clocked by people left and right.
To further your point, they are 6-0 on the road, and on that 6-0, they are 5-1 on the road against the spread.
Yeah.
So they
I'm not saying
not only do they win, they take care of business.
But I would take Seattle. I mean, strangely enough, the Rams might beat them straight up, but I don't see how you go against Seattle. I don't.
Well, it looks like the money's coming in on Seattle. I mean, the Rams opened up, again, we're talking about a team that was in the Super Bowl last year. You're playing at home in the division, and you're getting 2 points.
I mean, Goff looked good last week, but, that was Arizona, so.
To your point, it's almost because it seems so obvious.
Yeah.
It almost makes you kind of like
it makes you
your
just
gut sort of go the other way.
Well, personally, I'd be on the Rams here. I mean, I think it's a good spot for them. Seattle's not going to win every game. They're not going to continue winning games
but
of the fashion.
what gives you confidence about the Rams? What have they done to – I mean, their offense has been a joke until this past weekend. Their offense has been crap, basically.
Well, this is their last chance to get in the playoffs. This is a playoff game for them. This almost eliminates them.
Yeah, they're still
right. They dropped at 7-6.
Yeah. So tell me why Seattle, again, who continues to pull these rabbits out of their hat, what necessarily does this game mean to them?
Well, the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. I mean, they've only got 2 losses. And plus, they got to keep pace with San Francisco. San Francisco's only got 2 losses.
Exactly.
So they could get knocked down to a wild card. You're talking about going from a bye to a wild card to where you got to go on the road to play your games. They've got plenty of incentive. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean,
Seattle comes off a tough game, against Minnesota.
But they covered.
No, definitely they covered. I'm just saying it seems like
Who called that last week? Oh, the Seattle Whisperer.
Chalkboard. Who do you like in the Seattle Rams game?
Well, I'm really torn. I mean, like I say, I feel like it should be Seattle, but I knew you were going to say I think the Rams are in a good spot.
I don't see how the Rams are in a good spot. They've been in a good spot since the beginning of the season.
He means a good spot in the way of back against the wall somehow, how that could be a good spot that they need to win more so than Seattle.
That's just how you view it. No, they really don't. They both have to win. In my book, they both have to win. You know, it's like New England. New England's got the best record in the AFC, but they got to keep winning. If not, they don't get a bye. They got to go on the road. Everybody's got skin in this game.
Right. I mean, they're another week, 2 weeks away from really wrapping things up. So they need to keep winning for the next couple of weeks.
Everybody, both these teams need this.
I think it's more of his point was the Rams needed more. If there is
I don't think so.
I
don't look at it like that. I don't. I mean, to me,
we're splitting hairs. I mean,
tough game to call.
I kind of see what you're saying. Oh yeah,
Tough game to call.
I mean, I don't have it as a pick or anything.
I mean, I am kind of enamored with Seattle. Like I say, 6-0 on the road and 5-1 against the spread on the road. I mean, like I say, that's. But you know, I mean, the Rams.
Let's just kind of see what else maybe is out there.
We'll put it on a burner.
Are you serious? All right.
Damn, it's just a burner, man. So you serious? You don't even want it on the burner.
All right. It's on the burner. It's on the burner. It's on the burner. Monday night, New York Giants at Philadelphia. Philadelphia minus 9.5. The Giants 2-10 straight up, 4-8 against the spread. Giants haven't won since September 22nd.
Oh my God.
Is that for real?
Wow.
The
New York Giants, if you remember, they started off 2-1.
Yeah.
And
they're free fall. And Manning might be back.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The New York Giants haven't won since September 22nd. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on in New York. I read somewhere that Eli might be starting this week.
Well, I think Jones is hurt, right? It is injury.
In a boot.
Right, and the season's over, so, I mean, why keep trotting him out there?
Well, now they're fighting for a number one draft pick or something, so, you know, they really don't give a rat's ass now.
I can't close my eyes and just hear the Giants fans just chanting Eli like they want him to come back. And, like I say, it'd be more for saving Jones is what I'm thinking is going on.
Yeah, I mean.
Banged up.
But speaking of their opponent, Philadelphia 5-7 straight up, 4-8 against the spread, losers of 3 in a row.
They're just playing for pride now. They're out of the playoffs,
including straight up at Miami this past weekend.
Yeah, and just their defense, which was a strong point, got chewed alive by freaking Fitzmagic. Unbelievable.
Do not say his name.
I'm trying to think.
If only you would have went to him sooner, you might have made the playoffs in fantasy.
Decimated by injuries and nobody notable returning this weekend that I seen. I mean, this feels like a big number to me. I mean,
I agree.
But what I mean, so my last question here to you, Chalk, is there a difference between the Giants and Miami?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that Miami would beat the Giants.
Oh, yeah, they're getting ready to play. They would definitely beat the Giants. Miami's got an offense.
But to my point, Philadelphia played Miami last weekend as a 10-point favorite and lost straight up. And now, you know, I agree with you. Miami's a better team than the Giants, but this is another huge number with a team who doesn't have can't score.
The bad thing is Manning hasn't played all year long. They don't have any weapons. I think Golden Tate was out last week. All they had was Sterling Shepard. I mean, what else they have? Barkley, and they misuse Barkley. So, I mean, you know, so.
But check this
out.
They're
like a toothless.
This is how crazy it is. We were kind of hung up on the Bears-Dallas game. If Dallas was to somehow lose that game, Philadelphia wins the game, they're tied for the division lead at 6-7.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's gross.
It is gross.
It's terrible.
They were arguing earlier on ESPN the other day about, like, you know, I don't know if they'll ever do it, changing it around to where, like, you get some of these teams in.
Yeah.
You know, how's it one team gets in with 7-9, and then you have a team that finishes, 13-2, something like that. So, 13-3, I guess. But
does anybody want to bet money on this game?
No.
I think we've had a conversation before about this season in particular, the number of Monday night games we have not watched.
Yeah.
This may fall into that category.
This is just, except for the Sunday night game, this slate is not impressive. Usually there's a good Thursday night game on, a good Monday night game. No, these are both bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, feeling no love for the Giants and the Eagles. Let's roll on to the who you
We
like.
love the cities, just not the game.
There you go. Let's roll on to the who you like portion. T-Bone, you ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll.
Fire.
I like the Miami Dolphins. On the road, getting 5.5 points against the Jets. The Jets were showing some signs of life, but then they just got curb stomped by freaking Cincinnati. I mean, are you kidding me? The Bengals got their first win of the year. Miami has this offense that just, I mean, Fitzpatrick he's fearless. I mean, you can't, he might throw a pick or two, but he's going to get you points. He's going to keep.
What's it that you say about the gunslinger mentality?
Oh, my God. I mean, they have no running game. A guy named Patrick Laird was the damn running back. Never even heard of this guy. He was on the practice squad last week or some shit. Or, no, he's been on the roster. But he doesn't play. I mean, it's unreal. I mean, he didn't do anything, but that's their starting running back. And, yeah, I think they could go in there. I don't know if they'll beat them straight up, but I definitely like them to keep that game close.
Chalkboard.
Well, this is why I'm on the show. Clearly, the Jets missed their flight to Cincinnati last week. Okay.
Oh,
so,
Jets. That took me a minute. Okay.
Anyhow, I mean, again, you talk about like teams that are so unpredictable. Here, Darnold looked like he was finally coming into his own. I mean, I can't explain how. Do you think it has anything to do at this point with the draft, or Cincinnati had well, I told you Andy Dalton was coming back, so I told you we need to be aware of the red rifle.
Gase had to start winning because his job was in jeopardy. So I don't think they're really looking at the draft. I think they're trying to win. It's just Miami's trying to win now too, and they've got a good coaching staff and
a will to win.
Yeah.
And the desire. I mean, they're out there playing hard. The Jets are.
They play for their coach.
The Jets are poorly coached. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
Well, that's Miami's ex-coach.
Any concern at all about Miami going up to, windy, cold Meadowlands, anything like that?
No, I don't think so. That doesn't bother me.
I hear it's hot in Miami. I don't think it is up there this time of year.
It doesn't bother me.
I like the Dolphins here. Chalkboard, do you like the Dolphins here?
I mean, between the two, I like them. I feel like you guys like them both more than me. I don't like the Jets enough to talk you all off of it. I could be on the Dolphins. I mean, for what I've seen these last few weeks.
We ready to make it a pick?
I can make it a pick.
I can make it a pick. T-Bone, official House Money podcast play number 1.
The Fins.
The Miami Dolphins, plus the 5.5.
You want to throw anything on top of that? Are you saying you're just going to pick them to win straight up again?
I don't know if they'll win straight up, but they definitely can. I mean, I have the confidence they can go do this. I mean, they should have beat a lot of teams this year. That's the crazy thing. They had the Colts beat.
Well, I feel like this is a team that plays to the end.
They had Pittsburgh down by 2 scores.
They could even score late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going to keep it interesting. I mean, you're going to feel like you got a live dog to the end of the buzzer. You wait and see. All right, Chalkboard, you got something ready?
Yeah, well, I was kind of looking around, but I see your Dolphins, and I'll raise you the Raiders.
All right, we have.
Please say you're going the other side. On
Tennessee,
the Raiders.
Tennessee Titans at the Oakland Raiders. Oakland plus 3. Chalkboard, what side are you on?
So I like the Titans.
Thank God.
Again, silver and black. Y'all seen the tattoo. That's where I'm at. That's where my heart resides.
Sits on my ass.
Born in the Bay, but
Born in the Bay. Is that your other tattoo? Wow.
Now, as we do this show, a lot of times where are we at this week? We're in the Midwest, I guess, this week. So the Titans they've just come on, man. And obviously the Raiders are on a horrible slide right now. They are going back home to play this game, but I feel like it doesn't matter where they were playing this game. I just feel like the Titans just look better at every facet. I hate it, but
I just think Oakland's been, I don't know if exposed is the word. I just don't think they have everything they're still building their team. They've only had 1 year of Mayock and Gruden together to get their players in there, and it's just a work in progress.
Right, and I think that they've, in a weird way, with everything happening at the beginning of the season with crazy-ass Antonio Brown and everything, they've actually salvaged the season for how it could have gone. And there might still be another sneaky win or two in there, but I don't think it's going to be this week.
Well, so let's talk about those Oakland wins. I got it pulled up here. Those wins now, looking back over it, were over Detroit, who's proven unimpressive, over the Los Angeles Chargers, again, proved unimpressive.
And they should have lost that game. If you remember, they should have lost that game.
They should have. And then Cincinnati Bengals, they should have lost that game. And since then, they've lost the Jets and got blown out by the Jets and blown out by Kansas City.
Well, I'm not going to say it's escaping me that the last 2 games they've been outscored 73-12. So if you'd have given me the Raiders in 70, I wouldn't have covered. So
Tennessee, on the
60.
other hand, has won 5 of their last 6 games. Their only loss somehow or another was at Carolina on November the 3rd. They've covered. They're 4-1-1 against the spread over those 6 games. I mean,
they were losing last week. I look up; they're winning by 2 touchdowns over the Colts up in Indy.
I think was it a block and a defensive run back? And
yeah, it's
well,
like,
we were on that
shit.
game last week. So
Yes.
the one thing, not that I'm going to talk myself off of this game, but it's like I do see that Oakland is a sparkling 5-1 at home, and Tennessee's only 3-3 on the road. But I think Tennessee's about to be 4-3 on the road, and Oakland's going to take a second home loss.
well,
Oakland will beat them in Vegas, though. You heard it here first.
T-Bone, can you pitch anything?
No, I like Tennessee. I had Tennessee circled when I sat down.
Let's fire. Let's make more money. Chalkboard, official House Money Podcast, play number 2.
The Titans.
When you said you wanted to talk about the Oakland game, I was like, oh, God, please don't say Oakland.
That's why I kind of liked where you start off with Miami. And, silver and black all the way. But like I say,
Yeah.
what we say all the time, it's like my only color, favorite color other than silver and black's got to be green and white.
Oh, yeah. Tennessee -3, official play number 2. All right, T-Bone, you're up.
I got to keep riding this, man. I like Indianapolis at Tampa Bay. I like the Bucks minus the field goal.
Indianapolis at Tampa Bay -3. It opened at 2. A little bit of money came on. Now you're sitting at 3. What do you like about Tampa Bay?
I mean, Tampa Bay's looking up. I mean, look what they did. They crushed. We liked them in a pick 'em on the road at Jacksonville, and they smothered Jacksonville. I mean, it was insane. The Colts are just they're not the same. What's his name? The quarterback. What is that guy's name? The quarterback.
Brissett.
Thank you. He has not been the same since he's come back from his injuries. T.Y. Hilton, they might shut him down for the year.
I think I saw that. I think that is going to happen.
Mike is still out. They're rotating running backs, and none of them wow you.
I think that's the key right there. Without Hilton and Mack, they simply can't keep up.
No.
They've check this out. They've won 1 of their last 5 games, and that one game was over Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And they have losses to Tennessee, Houston, Miami, and Pittsburgh all during that stretch. And that's all since Brissett got hurt the first time.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time. I mean, Tampa Bay is that team with Goodwin, Evans.
They got weapons.
Where's
O.J.
our chart
Howard.
that we're supposed to have on the wall? Or is this good Winston week or bad Winston week?
They're all going to be 300 to 400-yard passing weeks, no matter. It's just the amount of interceptions.
They have a little bit of a two-headed attack at running back.
They got Barber and Jones.
Right.
Yeah.
Donald Jones Jr. or something.
Yeah.
Or something.
Ronald, yeah.
Yeah, Donald's cousin.
Donald, it's his cousin, brother, whatever.
Great big backs. What I'm saying is I would be on the Bucks with this, with the 3.
I'm down. T-Bone, official House Money Podcast, play number 3.
The Bucks. Wow, three winners in the can.
Hey, timekeeper, we're doing pretty good, aren't we?
Hold on.
Damn.
I'm glad we got off a road team there and went back to a home team. I don't think Indianapolis can keep up in that game. No, we're doing good on time. We've been going long lately, so we're fine.
Well, because I've got one I'd like to talk about. I don't know if we'll go on it, but I'd like to throw it out there.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. You're up.
Well, speaking of sticking with the hot hand, what do you think about Lamar at Buffalo?
Well, let me set that up for you, then I'll tell you.
It's going to be a good spot for the Bills, I feel like, but go ahead.
It's probably not because they just had a huge win on national TV over the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't think you're going to get any real value here on Buffalo. But back to my point, Baltimore at Buffalo, Buffalo plus the 6. I think that 6 is a real solid number. If you were going to make me bet, I'm taking Buffalo because Baltimore is not going to win every one of these games, right? And this
You say that.
but they come off this game against New Orleans where it was a physical game. And then you're going to go play another tough defensive team on the road. And you're getting almost a touchdown.
The thing that I like is Baltimore doesn't pass that much. He'll do just these little dink and ducks. Yeah. Buffalo's real strength in defenses against the pass. They're like middle of the road against the run. And that's where I feel like
I like Baltimore. I mean, I just do. Buffalo's a fake. They're fake. I mean, Dallas stinks. Dallas is nobody. Who has Buffalo beat this year? Who have they beat? They haven't beat anybody. They're not that good. I'm telling you. Now, I will say this. To me, the weather means everything because that crap they played in the other day. I told you, I said San Francisco +6 last week. I did say that. I know I did. Yeah, I remember that. But that's okay. That was bad.
You must have said it at
conditions.
least 49 times. But
Well, those are bad conditions. The only thing that's going to slow Lamar is certain elements, I guess I would say. So, but yes, to your point, you pack a defense, you pack a running game, and Baltimore's got it. They're physical, they're nasty. And when we say people can't win every game, there's going to be a team that's going to be 13-3, 14-2. Why can't that be Baltimore? It's going to be New England or Baltimore. And I'll tell you what, New England's got a lot more warts than Baltimore does. So somebody's going to have a great record at the end of this damn thing.
it's amazing when you look down at paper and it's like, and you tell me Baltimore's only one game better than Buffalo. Because you're talking about 10-2 versus 9-3.
Yeah, Buffalo is a who they beat. Who's Buffalo beat? I just want to know who they beat.
Okay, so I was trying to wow you with some good teams, but unfortunately I don't have that.
Exactly.
I got Dallas, Denver, Miami, Washington, Miami, Tennessee.
Look who Baltimore's beat. They went on the road and beat Seattle, for God's sakes. They beat they destroyed the Rams. Who else did they beat?
I mean, up until this week in San Francisco.
They beat the Texans. They humiliated the Texans.
Because to your point with the weather, there has been no close wins either.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, though, Buffalo at Dallas on Thanksgiving Day is a good win, regardless if Dallas is good or not. Buffalo also has a win at Tennessee. Granted,
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Back in October, still quite a ways back. And, you know, they do have – I mean, they're not – Buffalo's not terrible. I'm just telling you, this is almost a touchdown in a spot where Buffalo can really go make a name for themselves. I mean, Buffalo, to their credit, dude, they are who is this? I mean, they are 5. Dude, they're 4-0-1 against the spread their last 5 games. I mean, they cover.
Well, and, you know, Josh Allen isn't awful. I mean, he's got, 16 touchdowns.
Lamar Light.
He's not. Did you say Lamar like or light?
Lamar White. Lamar Light. Whatever you want to call him. Light White. Lamar Light White.
How about this? Let's put it on the burner. Chalkboard, you got anything to wow us with? Any stat
I threw that one out there.
No, I meant, do you have anything stat about the Baltimore-Buffalo game that you wanted to bring?
Oh, Lamar's really good.
He is good. Let's put this game on the burner and see what else we got.
I mean,
I could throw one more out here. How about Carolina at Atlanta?
Oh, my gosh. Carolina, Atlanta minus the 3. What side are you on here, T-Bone?
I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to say Atlanta. Carolina just fired their coach. They just got humiliated at home by freaking Washington, of all teams. How that happened, I don't know. Obviously, I didn't watch it. But Atlanta was getting better for a while until they got beat by the Saints at home. But of course, I do got to look at the health of Julio Jones. I guess that would be wise.
Yeah, I did see he was questionable, but
they also lost to Tampa Bay too. I mean, they've lost to Tampa Bay and New Orleans since they went on that little 2-game stretch right there.
Tampa Bay's been kind of hot. I mean,
I agree.
Hot.
Yeah, they're playing the division right now.
Carolina has just been abysmal lately. I mean, man.
Well, they almost won at New Orleans last weekend, 34-31, when really they should have won at New Orleans.
Who?
So Carolina.
They just got destroyed by Washington. You talking about the week before?
Yeah.
Oh.
They should have won at New Orleans.
Yeah. I'd say it's more New Orleans than it is Carolina, but whatever.
I mean, it does look like all the money's coming in Atlanta, right? Because it was 1.5. It's gone up to 3 now.
Yeah.
Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah. I like it.
Chalkboard?
I mean, let's burner it for a minute. Because if you're talking about Lamar or Matt Ryan, I feel like I want to be on Matt Ryan. I want to be on the Dirty Birds, but every time we say it,
every time we say it, it comes out wrong. Yeah,
all right, that game's on the burner.
I feel like Arthur Blank should have helped us build a house. He owns Home Depot, by the way.
Chalkboard.
Well, here's a game I don't know if we're going to go on, but I feel like we have to talk about it because it's whatever. What about Kansas City at New England?
Good choice. Kansas City Chiefs at New England Patriots. New England minus the 3. It opened at 3.5. Some Kansas City money came in. It is now sitting at 3. Chalkboard, what side are you on?
I mean, I think I would be on the Chiefs. I know we act like that, every year everybody's trying to throw dirt on Brady and everything, but this seems like it's finally starting to sort of. I know he says I remember for like a decade we were trying to bury the Spurs, but I think everything's it just couldn't keep going on.
Right.
And I think that the Chiefs are healthier now. I feel like now, again, Wednesday night, do we know if it's going to be like terrible, nasty, like the weather they had last week up in New England?
Well, I mean, they both got to fight through the same weather. Kansas City gets bad snow, too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I don't think that's really going to be an advantage for New England as much as people like to think, because Kansas City plays in an open-air stadium, and they have to deal with the weather conditions. I mean, it snows up there quite a bit, too. So I don't think that's going to affect anything.
Is Mahomes 100%? Is he fully healthy?
He's looking better. I mean, he looked better last week.
Yeah. I mean, from the knee that put him out, I think he's getting better every game.
So New England lost this past weekend at Houston 28-22. Before that, if you remember, they barely beat Dallas 13-9, barely beat Philadelphia 17-10. Before that, waxed by Baltimore. Right. So 2-2 over their last 4 games, and neither of those 2 wins particularly impressive. Kansas City, since Mahomes come back healthy, won winners against Minnesota, the Chargers, and Oakland. Lost to Tennessee 35-32. I'm on Kansas City here as well. To me, we say this every week. It's a team that can score versus a team that can't score.
Right.
And you're getting points.
No, I agree. I'm on Kansas City 100% also. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they can't lose, but at least you get a field goal. I think if they do lose, it'll be a very close game.
Yeah, it's 3 points. I feel great with those 3 points.
And it kind of sucks. You did have the hook, and now you don't, but oh well.
Well, and so many of those wins through the season, was predicated by their defense. The defense still playing well, but I feel like they've come back to earth a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Brady's going to have his way with Kansas City's defense, but who's he going to be throwing to?
Well, I don't know if he's even going to have his way. I mean, they haven't been playing that good. They went to the fourth quarter before they scored those points against Houston. I mean, did Houston let up and let them? I don't know, but yeah, man, their receiving core is horrible. I don't even know who they got. What's his name? Edelman. Who else do they got? I don't even know.
Every game I watch, Edelman's getting double teamed. Every game.
Yeah, and they just struggle.
And he gets smashed sometimes. I mean, dude, he's a tough dude, man. I mean, there's times he gets up, I was like, he ain't getting up.
As good as their defense is, they got to be getting gassed. I mean, my God, holding this whole team up. I mean, it's crazy.
You know what I just noticed? It's like, so passing, Kansas City averages 304 yards, New England 278. Neither one of these teams even averages 100 yards rushing.
Oh, no.
It's 96 to 94.
Yeah. Kansas City, yeah.
Now, your boy's out again.
Hunt.
That Damian Williams or whatever, does that matter at all to you?
Who cares?
Nah, I take it as a no.
TLC?
That piece of shit. He was third string anyways. It doesn't matter. They got the other Williams, Darrell Williams.
They got the other Williams. They got Hill. They got Kelsey.
All right.
Well, they
got Shady.
Yeah, McCoy. Yeah.
Let's fire chalkboard. Official House Money Podcast, play number 4.
The Chieftains.
Kansas City Chiefs plus the 3 at New England.
Man, that was a talk-about game. We're flying through these. And we still got Lamar on the burner.
Yeah, we got 4 picks here. Wow.
And I'm sitting on a winner over here. I mean, just a winner.
What you got there, E?
Yeah,
it's your studio.
Yeah, go ahead and throw that out there. Let's hear this one. I'm looking around all over to see what he's going to pull up here.
I know. I kind of got little marks.
Are you serious? This should be have like halos on your paper over there.
Wow.
This is ridiculous. Okay. The Denver Broncos
I swear to God,
at the Houston Texans. Right. You want to talk about a spot? Houston minus 9.5. Oh my gosh. Huge win on national TV where they beat everybody's favorite team, the New England Patriots. And now you're going to come back to the team I preach about every week. Only plays close games. Let me give it to you, T-Bone.
Oh, God.
Denver.
Of course, he's on the side I don't like.
Denver, 4-8 straight up, 7-5 against the spread, but 6-2 against the spread over the last 8 games. Comes off a win over the Chargers, 23-20. Almost all their losses have come against good teams. Buffalo, Minnesota, Indy, Kansas City.
Didn't they get curb stomped by Buffalo? I know they didn't cover that game.
They have wins twice over the Chargers, Cleveland, and Tennessee. you hear me say it every week on this show.
Tennessee,
They
Jesus.
only play close games. Houston 8-4 straight up, 6-6 against the spread. Comes off a huge win Sunday night over New England, 28-22. And although winners of 4 of the last 5, they will never be more overvalued than they are this week at 9.5 against a team that only plays close games. I'm not even looking at T-Bone chalkboard. Tell me why you think Houston's a winner.
Well, because I'm chalkboard. This is 9.5 points. Although the first line I looked down at my piece of paper,
Well,
it actually says this has trap game written all over it for the Texans, and it's literally every point. I thought you were reading my screen at one point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's horrible or anything. I mean, but you're talking about Locke, right? The quarterback. This
Right.
is only his second start.
That's
He
what it
actually looked
says.
pretty good.
Drew
his
Lock.
last, yeah, looked good his first start. I'll give him that. But
So what you're telling me is you want to take Denver and the points and then Houston on the parlay and hedge the bets. Because you don't think Denver's going to win. You just think that they can keep it within a touchdown or so. I don't think Houston's going to come off that huge thing. Like you say, it's definitely set up for like a little bit of a letdown and do just enough to win the game and move on.
Absolutely, and they don't have to win. Again, it's 9.5 points. They only have to do what they do every single week and play a close game. So whenever I send y'all the little screenshot of my ticket, I just want y'all to know Denver plus 9.5.
you may get a redhead stepchild pick.
It's funny you say that, T-Bone, because I had already, when I was writing this paper down, I was like, if these bitches don't go for it, RHSC.
Back in effect.
So no love from y'all on the.
No, I mean, I like all your points, but, unfortunately, we already got 4.
Oh, so is that it, or is it a wrap? Are we done?
No, I mean, we're not done.
We're just done.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we're done. I don't know what time we start.
No, we're done on the Broncos. Fine.
I really do want to bring you in one of those sweatshirts I saw the other day that says Mile High on it.
Awesome. Hey, official redhead stepchild, play number 2 of the season. This is 1-0 on the season, ladies and gentlemen. Denver plus the 9.5. Easy money.
I like where you absolutely did no help from your cohorts. Set it up yourself. Called your own game out.
So on that note, what else y'all got? Anything else, or do we want to go to the burner? We got 4 plays already. Let me see what we're doing on time. Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
Oh, okay.
And then we got to get to the money line. So let's do it.
I mean, we got our picks. Do we got to pull one off the burner, or what we doing?
We
I think
do
the
not.
only game that we were contemplating was Lamar.
Yeah.
Quickly, no love for Arizona.
Oh, God. Arizona. I didn't even look at that. They just got curb
I
stomped
thought for
at
sure
home.
you were going to say quickly no love for the Saints at home against
How
the
would you-
Niners.
mean,
I was going to take the
would almost-
Niners. Any love for the Niners? Okay. All right. So, let's go to talk about our 3 burner games. So we got Seattle at the Rams +1. Carolina at Atlanta -3. Or Baltimore at Buffalo, Baltimore -6. Can we stay away from Baltimore, Buffalo?
Oh, wow.
Okay, no, I
Well,
mean,
what else we got?
do we need a 5th pick?
No, because we could agree enough to make a decent money line thing out of the remaining games.
We have the same conversation every week on do we need a 5th pick?
Well, we're getting toward. We got 4 weeks left counting today's show. We got a month left. I mean,
Might have having to pour our ass out of the fire, but yeah.
yeah, I mean that 5th game could possibly get us a little closer where we want to be. But can we agree on a 5th game?
Yeah.
Because you're coming in strong with Denver. I think we're on Baltimore. You don't like that at all. I mean, is there a game we're more all in the middle on?
We can take Cincinnati plus the 8.5. Wow.
I mean, I would take Cincinnati. That's probably who I would like. I mean,
Chalkboard.
to me, Cleveland is just God, man. I just don't.
An
know.
emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, they were just a wreck.
It's the
man.
Battle of Ohio. Yeah.
A little spark with Big Red.
They did get a big spark.
They're going to Baker's house. You see all
I
of his commercials.
I could see it being close.
So, what was your take on Atlanta at home?
He refuses to take points. Refuses.
Over a touchdown.
Every week.
It's over a touchdown.
It's the only way you make money in the NFL is betting on bad teams.
I tell you what, I would do his Denver before I did Cincinnati.
well, he's already got that as a redhead stepchild pick. So
All right. Last chance, fellas. Are we gonna take any of these things off the burner?
What did you? What was this note you handed over to me, T-Bone? Green Bay over Washington.
Here we go. Let's recap this week's 4 official plays. Play number 1, Miami plus 5.5. Play number 2, Tennessee -3. Play number 3, Tampa Bay -3. Play number 4, Kansas City Chiefs plus the 3. I like those 4. All right, money line parlay. T-Bone, throw out the first team.
First team. Give me Philadelphia.
Wow. That's brave. I know that's 9.5, but after the debacle that we seen last weekend, for this to be the first team you pull out that card, that's brave. Chalkboard.
I will not be so brave. Give me the Pack. Green Bay at home. I don't see the Redskins going up to Lambeau winning the game.
Good choice. I'll take Minnesota. Go ahead, T-Bone.
Houston.
Oh, that could come back and haunt you.
You think that's going to haunt you?
Chalkboard. Don't do it. I know where he's getting ready to say, don't do it. Go ahead.
I meant to bring my sunglasses in.
Are you going to...
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Oh, are you serious?
To win the game in the money line.
Oh, they're going to get that done.
Can we think about that for a minute? This is the next one's
Can
number
we put that
5.
on the back burner?
No, the next one's number 5, and number 5 is the one that gets
Always
us
gets
every
us.
week.
I mean, do you want to take one
That's
that's
because I haven't
small?
done the 5th pick.
These are kind of big spreads. We need to get something, I guess, that's,
I agree.
let's see. How about
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay.
I like Tampa Bay too, so we can do 6 games.
Okay, so
We do
that's
7 games, you mean?
So no, we could continue rolling, but I like Tampa Bay more than I like Baltimore. What about?
Well, I mean, you get better odds. We're getting better odds at least, so.
All they have to do is, well, I mean, anything could happen. It is Western New York.
We
bad
haven't
weather.
hit one of these yet, so let's not act like, oh, this shit's a lock.
God, look at the Chargers at Jacksonville. Why did I not notice that before? I like the Chargers beating Jacksonville. Jesus.
They've gone back to Minshew for the rest of the season.
I've seen that. Oh, well.
I mean, honestly, of the things that are left, no Raven love, nothing. I know I'm just over here on an island.
Yeah, I'd take Tennessee before I'd take Baltimore.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, not me. I like Baltimore over.
Let's just.
I don't care. Whatever y'all do.
I don't know. No, we need to go low. We need.
How many is that
Need
already? Is
something
that 5?
lower. All right.
We got 5.
So the lowest we got right now is Tampa Bay minus the 3.
But
what about Atlanta? What about Atlanta? Just to win the game at home.
If you're talking about to just win the
You
game,
just got to win the game. 3-point spread.
I'm into that. It'll give us some good odds.
Yeah, we need
well,
some good odds.
it's the same. It's the same number we would get with Tennessee, though.
Then let's do them both.
7.
I mean, we got 4 weeks in the season left.
At least
At this point in
Atlanta's at
time,
home.
let's start rolling
Atlanta's
the
at least
dice.
home, though. You know what I'm saying?
7 games and no Lamar.
Dude, we got 4 games in. We have 4 weeks left in the season. Let's start rolling the dice.
That's fine.
All right, so Atlanta's in.
Because if you don't roll the dice, then it's just die, and we don't want to die. We want the dice.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
We're a little deep on that.
So that's 6. Come on, we got to get this going.
I thought that was 7 if we took both of them, Atlanta and. Did we not take?
No, we took
Tennessee?
Atlanta, Philadelphia, the Packers, Houston, Minnesota, and Tampa Bay.
I haven't taken Tennessee yet. You want to put Tennessee? Tennessee makes 7.
Okay, that'll be it. Wow.
That.
Who's going to screw us here? I'm going to write the 7 by
Won't
Tennessee.
be Lamar.
I'm going to write the 6 by Atlanta and the 7 by Tennessee to see some screws us. Okay.
So those 7 teams are Philadelphia, Minnesota, Atlanta, Green Bay, Houston, Tampa Bay, and Tennessee.
God, a 7-teamer. Jesus.
Dude, the machine's going to run out of tape by the time you try to place
do a
this bet.
5-teamer with lower. God, 7 teams.
We're trying to attack this from different angles now.
So if you take away the 2 big numbers, you take away Green Bay and Minnesota. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Well, you might as well put them in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right, it's set. Here we go.
He says done deal.
Chalkboard, crystal ball predictions. Last week, Chris Conley, touchdown, Jacksonville. How'd he do?
I'm still looking. No, he's not in the end zone, which is almost a guarantee he'll score. I should have been on, who's the guy down there, Kevin? T-Bone, DD.
Westbrook.
He was the one that actually got several catches and the touchdown. So, the crystal ball has been going like a little skewed. So we were sitting there talking about. I would like to.
What an untimely ding of the bell.
I thought it was because, I flexed the vocabulary and used skewed, but I digress. All right, I'm going to go with, because I normally go for third string receivers, backup running backs. This is probably a name you guys have heard of. In a big name and a bit of a disappointing statistical season, Le'Veon Bell will break 100 yards and get a touchdown. 100 yards, total yards.
Oh, total, okay.
So I think for the couple of – I saw some fantasy guys this weekend. They're like, always pick these obscure people. Can you throw out some of these guys who have been a little bit off and finally tell me if I should put him in the thing? So fan that I think we were in Arizona that day. But, yes, you should go ahead and play Le'Veon. He's going to get you over 100 yards total, and he will get in the end zone. So
Didn't we take Miami?
yeah, but –
That's not gonna hurt us.
I know that was part of the thing, but as we get toward the end, I'm trying to spread some of the love around the NFL.
Yeah.
All right. I feel you, brother. T-Bone, choice gut, Kansas City -10 last week.
I'm 3-0. 3 in a row. Going for 4 this week. The game I like, San Francisco at the Saints. Give me San Francisco.
I agree.
Plus 2.5. Plus 2.5. San Francisco very well could have beat Baltimore. Now there was conditions, weather conditions, everything else, but man, they're legit. They got tough defense. That defensive line is going to get after Breeze and his 40-something-year-old ass. And I think they'll win straight up.
I agree. I like it.
I think this was a game I had to duck long enough in the show just that it would become like a cut because I knew y'all would be on them, and I probably would have had to agree. So I think it's a good spot as a choice cut.
There you go. All right. Please follow us on Twitter. Show is at House Money Pod. I'm the host at Easy_House Money. Chalkboard.
Chalkboard can be found at Chalkboard, CHALKBORED_HM.
Awesome. For whatever reason you need to email us, we're housemoneypodcast@yahoo.com. Shout out to executive producer Dallas Jenkins, as always. Fellas, week 14. That's it. In the books. A few more weeks left. Anything else, Chalkboard?
No, I think we say this every week when we're closing the show, but I feel good about these picks and the 7-teamer.
I like the 7-teamer. T-Bone?
No, I feel good about the picks too. I mean, I'm not going to go back in time, but I think we should have went 3-1 last week, but that's okay. We did what we did. If we included the choice cut, though, that's all I'm saying. There'll be 3 extra winners you could have had 3 weeks in a row. That's all I'm saying.
I'll throw it in right now. I'll throw it in right now.
That's all I'm saying.
San Francisco plus 2.5. Chalkboard?
I think y'all both have like that thing where you got your own little tickets going. So.
Well, no, it's okay. We'd have to go back into the whole back burley. That's okay.
Okay. That's fine. All right.
Then we might have to look at
I'm going to hear about it next week, but love you guys.
All right. 4 games. Again, week 14. We got a few more weeks. Please, wherever you listen to us, please subscribe, whether it be on iTunes or SoundCloud. That way, when we forget to put the show out, like I did last week on Thanksgiving, and I apologize, it will come directly to your listening device. Gentlemen, week 14.
We're out.
We're out.